So, let us move into the next component, which is the marine ecosystem. Impact of ozone depletion on marine ecosystem. The marine ecosystem is one of the very vulnerable component to the ozone depletion problem. Why? It is because of the fact that the ozone depletion directly affects the food chain supply of the marine ecosystem. Severely affected because of the fact that it cuts the food chain of the marine ecosystem, and number of aquatic species such as phytoplankton, zooplankton and shrimps and small fish juvenile fish have been identified as most vulnerable components of or most vulnerable victims of this ozone depletion, and it affects the tiny plant which is a source of food for other fishes as well, and which ultimately results in the depletion of the fish population in the marine ecosystem. Impact of ozone depletion on other materials. Physical as well as mechanical properties of polymers, wool, cotton, paper and other wood have been substantially influenced because of the ozone depletion. However, the exact level of the problems created out of this ozone depletion have not been identified or not measured at all. But the scientists have realized the problem, which may be a problem for the plastic related items. So, they have developed a plastic substances which may bear the ozone depletion problems. That means the ultraviolet radiation may not cause any problem to the plastics which may be susceptible to the ozone depletion. These are the impact of ozone depletion on various components including a human being. We have covered it. Now, we are moving to the impact of ground level ozone. So far what we have covered is the ozone, about the ozone depletion because of the ozone depletion at the stratosphere level. But what is the problem if the same ozone is found at the earth's surface? Impact of ground level ozone causes many problems to the human being, because this ozone is considered as a bad ozone, as I stated earlier, and this bad ozone causes many problems. What are the sources for the ground level ozone? The sources of the ground level ozone is it's completely based on the vehicular pollution and other industrial related pollutions. What type of problems may arise out of this bad ozone? One is, most of the problems which may arise out of this the bad ozone is the respiratory related problems, shortness of breath, coughing, wheezing, headaches and other throat related problems. Even it may cause skin diseases as well. What we have covered so far is the scientific aspect of the ozone by introducing the ozone and the types of ozone. Then we discussed about the impact of ozone and impact of bad ozone on the human beings and other living as well as non-living components. Now we are moving into the management of ozone depletion. How we are going to manage the ozone depletion? What are the measures have been taken at the global level to control the ozone depletion? Because the law can be a solution for only certain things. Ozone depletion is a scientific related problem which can be addressed only by science linked with law. So, in this context, at first in the globe in 1977, the United Nations Environmental Program was initiated, and to coordinate with the following aspects. The meteorological and chemical aspect of the atmosphere will be measured at first. Impact of ozone depletion on human and other environmental component will be studied. Socio-economic aspect of the chlorofluorocarbon will be studied. Then the fourth one is socio-economic aspect of the substitution of chlorofluorocarbons, how far it is possible, whether it is viable. These are the aspects were initiated at the global level to understand the ozone depletion at first. These are the scientific initiatives, because the scientific initiative should be there, that is essential. But if it is not backed by law, then the global or the global country or the countries, the jurisdictions will not pay any kind of adherence to this problem. Then there is an importance of a legal and political cooperation among the countries at the international level to address this particular unique problem. International legal and political cooperation for the protection of ozone was initiated by USA at first, because USA realized the importance of the ozone and faced many problems because of the ozone depletion. UNEP emphasized the need for an international legal mechanism to address the ozone depletion. What has happened? The same view has been accepted by many of the developed countries. So then they joined together, they unanimously agreed to reduce chlorofluorocarbons and usage of chlorofluorocarbons, and they have agreed and they have gone ahead. Then the next step is an important one at the international level. By realizing the importance and the need of an international legal text on this issue, in 1981, United Nations Environmental Program has initiated to formulate a global legal framework that is called a convention among the G7 nations. Finally, it was in 1985 the Convention on the Protection of Ozone Layer, which is in short identified as Vienna Convention, was formulated. The Vienna Convention 1985 is the first international legal document which addresses the ozone depletion problem. Though it is a convention, and that too a framework model of convention, the implementation of the framework convention will be followed by the protocols and other models. But this Vienna Convention has initiated certain measures in the parental document itself, that is in the Vienna Convention itself. It advocates for the multilateral cooperation in all respects was demanded at first. Though the convention highlights all the problems, it does not provide any comprehensive solution, because one can understand the limitation of a framework convention, because the reason is Vienna Convention is also a framework convention. Though it has been a mentioning of utilization of ozone depleting substances and reducing the ozone depleting substances use at the domestic level. And the one of the important aspect which is for most and most wanted even right now based on the Vienna Convention is a technical and scientific cooperation, because as I stated in the previous occasion, the ozone depletion is a science related problem. It can be addressed only by science, that too linked with law. So science linked with law can only address this particular problem. In this context, a technical as well as scientific cooperation is very much required among the countries. If the countries are divided based on the technological development, then this problem can't be addressed. As a non-binding obligation, the Vienna Convention mandated member countries to reduce the usage of ozone depleting substances at their domestic level, and the Vienna Convention further mandated the member countries to fix their own level of reducing the ozone depleting substances, in short which is called as ODS. To adopt appropriate legislative and administrative framework at the domestic level to reduce the usage of harmful activities, so as to give implementation to the framework convention, the Montreal Protocol was adopted in 1987.